Our students, Brian Proctor, the art teacher, back again with another video, and this is going to be part 3 on on drawing clothes on and off the figure. I need to get that title straight. So as you see, I'm in my hoodie right now. Let me see if I can just go down just a little bit so you can see my sleeves. So as I said before, you need reference. To draw stuff, you need reference. To draw a period, you need reference. You know, until we get it in our heads that we know how to draw a fish or a hammer or whatever, because we've seen it so many times. So the more that you can see something, or the better the reference is, the more you draw it, the more you memorize it, and you won't need reference anymore. So one of the things I talk about, I don't know if it's in this one or the last one, but it's doing the hoodie. That's part of clothes anyway. But while I had this on, my shoulder is right here. But if you look at the seam, where that thing is, where is that thing? You see how far this seam is down off of my shoulder? Here's my shoulder. You see that? This is the seam right here that connects the arms. And the reason is so that you can move freely. And again, as I lift my arms up, look how many wrinkles and folds and creases you have because of the material. And this is some really thick material. This thing was expensive. My daughter bought me this. Thank you, dear. And this is really good. So again, I love hoodies with big hood. That's why it makes it a hoodie. So see how the material is. And as I say, reference. If you don't have reference, get it. I think everybody should have a hoodie. Put your hoodie on, take pictures of yourself, get a camera stand. If you can afford one, camera stands are really cheap. You don't have to get a good camera stand, just a cheap camera stand. And then take pictures of yourself in your hoodie. Just see how everything, you know, sits. See how everything sits. And then just draw it the best you can. It doesn't have to be perfect in the beginning, and it won't be, but years later, it'll be a lot better. I don't think any artist is satisfied and saying, oh, my work is perfect now. We always strive to get better and better and better. So do what you can for now. Don't look at other people's art and compare your art, because they started out like you did, not really understanding and knowing. And they didn't have my videos because I wasn't back then. So, but you have it. So just follow the advice, take your time. Don't look at other people's. Do you. Become the artist that you're meant to be. All right, so I'm looking over here. I don't know why I tend to do that. Yeah, okay, I'm gonna get out this thing because it's hot. It's really thick. It's hot, and let's get to the drawing table. All right, guys, welcome back to the drawing table. This is gonna be part 3 on drawing clothes or clothing the figure, because one of your fellow art students asked me to do that. I'm doing that because I know it would help a lot of people, because you don't want them in their costume constantly. You want to dress your character eventually when he goes to dinner or goes to bed or just goes to play ball or whatever. So right off the bat, last time I was doing this collar, this is weird if you don't draw it all the time, but I'm going to show you this is what I'm saying. When the collar is open, how it folds. Let's see if I can get this straight. I don't want to take up too much time. When it's closed, you're going to have that V like that. When it's open, you're going to have, there is a little extra piece that goes around here. And when it's open like that, and this one, you have this little bent piece down like I was trying to draw right here. And that is where the button is. So anytime you draw an open collar, you're going to have this little extra piece. It's hard to get it on camera when I'm looking at it. You're going to have this little extra piece come out right before you have this little, let's just call it a wing. Whereas this piece is the same, but this one you'll kind of see the inside. This one you'll see the outside. And most times when you see somebody with a shirt, you see that little piece right here. You'll see from the inside, whereas you see this from the outside. That's just the way they kind of fit. So, all right, enough of that. The best thing to do is, if you have a dress shirt, put it on, take some pictures of yourself, go to the mirror. Everybody has a camera. Everybody has a camera, and everybody has a phone, or a phone with a camera, should I say. All right, so I said we're going to get into some dresses. And the thing about women's clothes is that you got tons and tons and tons and tons of different designs with women's clothes. So basically, with the female clothes, unless you're doing sweats, which I showed you how to do, the hoodie, sweats. Where's the pants at? Let's just do this. Sweatpants are just loose. They're just going to be baggy like this. That's all. They're going to be baggy like that. And then they're going to have the little piece right here. And then they're going to have the string. And do they have a thing here? I have to look at some sweatpants to see. But with a female clothes, you're just going to basically go around the shape. So if a female is shaped like this, the clothes are just going to go wrap around the female. So if I wanted to do a dress, let's just say here's the arms, this is this is the chest. There are so many different designs. You'd have to go and look at the female clothes designs and then just do it. Usually when we draw females, we'll put that tight dress on, the one piece or the two piece, but it's always tight. So the only thing you can have to really worry about is how does the top fit. You can have this with a strap. You can have it go straight across with a strap. You can have some extra strap going down. But there's just a lot of different ways, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on women's clothes because you get more wrinkles and pulls when it comes to women or females dress. And that depends again on what type of outfit that you actually want to put on the female. They have some outfits that are just, really, really, what can I say, designer outfits, like the one I showed you earlier. I had to pull up that picture real quick. Let's just say this is the body, and then you have the breast here. It went like this, and then one went behind the neck, the other was across here, and then it had like sleeves that connected, and then of course it was short dress. So I think this went back and around and connected at the back. This goes over the one shoulder and connects at the back. I'll flash another picture up right here so you can see the dress and what I'm saying. And I don't know if that is a real person or if that is an AI drawing or just like a dummy, because her shoulders are like way out here, like up like this in the picture. I mean, she could be posing that way. Her shoulders are like that, and then comes up, and then there's her head like that. So that's, like I say, I don't know. It's just with the AI nowadays, you can't really tell. You can, but it's hard to tell. All right, so I'm not going to get into too much of the clothes. Like I say, basically, depending on what you want to show, a lot of times people will draw characters and they have the big breasts, and they show a lot of cleavage, in their dress somehow. And you make up a dress. A lot of cleavage in the dress. So you go the belly button, and then the bottom of the skirt like that. So I mean, there's 1,000 different ways you can do a dress. I was gonna say something, I forgot. There's 1,000 different ways you can do a dress, but I guess it depends on what the female is, if she's going to a party, if she's just hanging around the house, if she's just whatever, just going to dinner. You design that dress, or you look for that particular style that you want, or you make up your own, because it's really simple. Because the only difference is, as I said, is basically in the I don't know what you would call that, the top. I'm not gonna say the cleavage. You can have that. Like I say, you can have something like this. You can have the string. So yeah, it's just so many different ways to do female dress. All right, so from there, since I didn't spend too much time doing the female dress, female clothes, let's get into the third one and how fabric will pull. Now, different fabrics will pull, meaning stretching. Different fabrics pull different ways. But the thing is, the lines are going to go in the direction that it pulls. So if I had arrows and I pulled it from here, the lines would go in that direction. Like you see like a deeper pull. You'll see, let's see if I can get that one again. You will see, I can't get it again. It was a perfect thing. Okay, like you get the deeper pulls at the pulling point. I'm trying to get this into words. And you see how this kind of like fades out and it doesn't go here. This one does because this is like the main pull, but the pulls from the other side won't go all the way across. And that tells you where this main pull is. Like if I can't do it on my sleeve, it won't work. So let me grab a shirt. I don't think it's gonna work with a shirt, but let me grab a shirt and see if it works since I still have it. Okay, so you have your clothes and they are seamed in certain places. And your clothes seam across here, seam across there. Now when I pull like the sleeve or the sleeve goes up somehow, a lot of times this seam will stop the pulling from going too much further. So you have like a lot of pull here and just a few lines here in your clothes. Okay, so jeans, you definitely know that jeans are more thicker than slacks. So you're going to have a lot more pulls in something that is thinner like the slacks than you would the jeans. I think jeans has more of the wrinkles, kind of the same. Let me give you an example. I'm racing the clock. You have a pull. If you pull something, you have that pull line going in the direction where that pull is going. And then you have, and the word just ran out of my mouth. You have, all right, so example, because I'm losing my words. Example, let's say this is a sleeve or pants leg. When you have something that's going to come down on itself, like compress against itself, you're going to have these shapes. And there are like three main shapes of wrinkles, folds, pulls. There's an S, there is a U, and then there is a V, if I'm not mistaken. So if I have on pants, I'm trying to think of a good example. And a lot of times jeans will be so long that they're gonna hit the bottom of your shoe. Hit the bottom of it. You hit the top of your shoe, and it's gonna push up. I'm looking at it. I'm gonna try to keep it on camera. It's gonna push up to where you have these bunches right here. And if you look at them, it's kind of hard to. It's going to take that shape. One of them's going to take this shape. It's going to be like that S shape or that U shape or the V shape. And those are your main three shapes other than the actual pull. So that's going to be the same thing. If you put your arms up, let's say if you have a shirt on, you have a hoodie, and you put your arms up, and I'm looking at this, but I should be thinking camera. When you put your arm up, your sleeves or something will come down a little bit. Anytime it comes down a little bit. So you're going to get those compression. There are different names for these things, but my brain is not picking them up right now, spitting them out right now. So anywhere you have your seams, basically where your seams are, where's the shirt? Where's the shirt? Where's the shirt? What did I do with the shirt paper? All right, anywhere you have your seam, which is just a stitch that holds two pieces together, that's where you're going to have your pulls. If you lift your arm up, if you put your arm up here, whatever direction that you are pulling, you're going to get that from the seams, and you're going to probably get more pull from down here than you would up here. So you're going to get more pulls from down here and up here because you have fabric. Let's see if I can do that. You have fabric that is now pushing against, I'm looking at it, should be in the camera. You have fabric that's overlapping itself because the bottom is pulling up. The bottom is pulling up and the top is kind of bunching together. So you're going to have something like this. You're going to have a couple pulls, and you don't want to go too much, too many pulls. And then you're going to have this, and it's going to like bunch up right here at the top of where the top of that. I'm telling you, I'm losing it here. And because you have these stitches, which is kind of like a wall, you're not going to really get the pull that goes straight across. You'll get some, but not much, because that wall where that stitch is blocking it. Now, one thing you can think of, if you can remember, is a star. Usually at the hardest pulling point, if you just do lines like this, those are your kind of your pull points. Just like this. If I kept on, it would be like that, pulling at that point. All right, so I'm going to start wrapping this up. Just one of the best things to do is look in the mirror and see and move and take pictures, and you see how that does. One thing about like clothes, if you have like oversized clothes and it's hanging, you're going to get like a droop in a lot of your clothes. That's why when you see that in a lot of drawings, that means you're drooping. Let me show you this. This is, like I said before, this is my face. I want to draw this. This is from a statue. This is sculpted from a statue. And you see how you have this extra fabric that is just kind of like drooping, and that's like your U. Remember I said you have an S, you have your U, and you have your V. You have your U's dropping down like this, coming from the breast. The high point is like if you take a ball, if I can do that, and then you put fabric over it, it's not going to be on the top of that ball. It's going to be like around the edges where the further out point is, and it's just going to drop here. This is going to be smooth, and it's going to drop here. And because that is like basically just extra fabric that's hanging, it's going to get it's going to get those droops in there, those U's and that S's. The S's get a little bit of pull to it, but just hanging from it, you're going to get that U. If it's tight, you're going to get that straight line pull like that. So I think it was one more thing I was going to say, and then I'm going to end it, but I think I'm going to end it because the brain is not really working right now. And then next time we'll get into more what the folds look like and start drawing the clothes actually with the wrinkles in it, and then we'll draw the figure, making sure the figure is round, because if your figure is not round, your folds and your wrinkles and your pulls will look flat. All right, so that's going to be it for this. I will see you guys in the next video.